like to welcome you to our meeting and ask that you please stand and join us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Durante?
Present.
Foltz?
Present.
Rappaport?
Present.
Richards?
Present.
Sharp?
Present.
Spizak is absent excused. Stachow?
Present.
And Hornbuckle.
Present.
We have a quorum, Chair.
Approval of the minutes from September 7th.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Rappaport and supported by Commissioner Richards. So roll call, please.
Roll call vote to approve the September 7th, 2022 meeting minutes. Durante?
Yes.
Foltz?
Abstain.
One second. Rappaport?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
Sharp?
Abstain.
Stachow?
Abstain.
Hornbuckle?
Yes.
Minutes are approved.
At this time of the meeting, if there's anything that is not on our agenda that you'd like to bring before the commission, this would be the time to do it. I see nothing. We will move into our first case. Like all of our cases tonight are public hearings, so all of them will be opened up to the audience. Our first case is 703A, proposed site plan approval for special land use for addition of a drive-through at the Captain Jay's Fish and Chicken Restaurant. Mr. Ayub.
Thank you, Chairman. I could not get my taskbar to hide here, so for the audience at home and for cable TV, just wanted to let you know that it shouldn't have an impact on any of the slides, but thought I'd throw it out there. This property here is approximately 36,000 square feet, almost an acre, and is zoned CB1, low intensity commercial business. The site contains an existing building owned and occupied by the petitioner who's present here today. He operates the existing Captain Jay's Fish and Chicken Restaurant. This is a dated photo on your screen. The petitioner tonight is requesting to construct a drive-through window on the north side of the building, and the drive-through menu board, order menu board, will be on the east side of the site behind the building. There are no modifications being proposed to the existing site that will impact points of ingress and egress. The site will continue to utilize the two existing curb cuts accessed off of Wayne Road, one to the south and one to the north. The site will, as a result of the drive-through operation being added, utilize a one-way traffic pattern with those two curb cuts to accommodate the drive-through. The ordering menu, as I mentioned earlier, will be located at the rear of the site, which is the east side. There will be, it's over here where my cursor is. Let me turn this pointer laser on. It's over here, again to the east. There is a new landscaped island being installed here where the menu board and ordering station will be located. A traffic impact assessment study was conducted by a certified traffic engineer. This is a requirement for all proposed drive-through operations that come before you. The engineer and the traffic study did not report any concerns. The proposal provides more than the required amount of stacking spaces and 47 parking spaces, which also exceeds the requirement. That's quite a bit of parking spaces for this style of a takeout fast food restaurant. The parcel, as you know, is developed and is compliant with the requirements of screening of parking areas, and the location of lawns and landscaped areas also comply with the landscaping ordinance as well. The existing building, which doesn't look like this anymore, This is the most recent picture we had, is constructed with stone materials and EFIS. It's a paneling system you might be familiar with. There's no modifications being proposed to the existing facade. The restaurant will be open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And finally, the proposed use is consistent with the master plan future land use designation of community commercial. There are several drive-through operations located near this property and along Wayne Road that coexist without any negative impacts on the existing roadway. So we don't think there'll be any concerns with traffic there. And based off these facts and findings, the administration is recommending approval to you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abe. Is the petitioner in the audience? Yes, would you come up and introduce yourself, sir? Thank you.
My name is Abdullah Sheikh. I'm the founder and president of Captain Jay's Fish and Chicken Restaurants. We have over 30 restaurants in the Detroit metropolitan areas.
Very good. Anything you wish to add to Mr. Ayoub's?
No, I just like to say I deal with almost more than 11 cities. And, I'm glad I came to Westland, the leadership, the people at the building department, it's a business welcoming city. So I'm glad I'm planning to open more stores here.
Very good. Now, we will open up the audience. If you'd like to have a seat right there, I'll bring you right back up after we go open to the audience.
Sure.
Okay? Anyone on my right wish to speak on this? Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left wish to speak on this? Anyone? Sir, if you'll come back up, everybody's content. We'll open it up to the commission. Yes. Excuse me. Commissioner Durrani.
Yeah, on this, I'm looking at this, and you got a 10 by 20 loading zone on the north side of the property, right?
Or the east side of the property directly adjacent to car number 4 in the stacking lane.
Okay, now my question is, you got one-way traffic. Now all supposed to go that way to go out that north entrance. How are they gonna get by if that loading zone is occupied by a truck? How are the cars gonna get out of the parking lot? There's not enough room. You got your drive-through lane there. Then you got a loading zone right in the middle of there by number 4, car 4. How are the cars that are in your parking lot gonna exit if that's blocked?
I don't think it's a block. I think there's enough for both the cars and the loading trucks can leave. I don't think it's blocking the cars. I'm sure the architect take this in consideration, and I think we have enough space for any car to leave.
When are your deliveries?
Usually we deliver in the morning before we open, around before we open the restaurants.
But I see a problem with that. I don't know if you do, I do. Because you only got one exit out of that whole thing.
Hey, so Mo, can you show us how traffic will flow in this?
Yes. So entry point here, cars will come in, parking as you can see, stacking as you can see. Commissioner Durante's referring to this identified loading space, which could be relocated. That's probably the best thing to do. If deliveries are happening in the early hours before 11 a.m., I suppose that could be okay too. Best thing is probably to relocate it.
I think it should be. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't mind to relocate it behind the door, just because we have so much space behind the back door where we receive it. Yeah, here we can usually the most convenient is.
That would be more logical to put the loading space
Yeah,
there.
I agree with you. I never noticed why they put it over there. It's too far from the back door. I think
Yeah.
it's much more, I agree with you 100%, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other comments? Yes. Commissioner
Yes.
Stackhouse.
Okay, through the chair to the petitioner. You were talking about the operation hours. Now, is that going to be your inside dining and the drive-through being of the same hours? Because that would be associated with exactly what is being stated also.
So usually in the evening, we close maybe an hour earlier than the drive-through, while they are, it's 1 hour later than the door. So they close the door maybe 10 o'clock and the drive-through, at 11. They close at 11.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other comments? Yes.
I just have a question. Mo, can you zoom in at the end of the driveway going out from the door?
Over here?
Go up a little bit to your, yep. So you see this doorway here, provided, not entry sign per city. Is that doorway going away? Right here, yep, right there. My concern is, is that a doorway, and is that metal fence there, is that open, can be open, or is it stationary?
That's a good question. This is a outdoor seating area. This area over here is enclosed. You cannot exit. I guess if you really wanted to, you can hop the fence, but hopefully no one does that. So this is an access point only to the concrete patio.
And that fence right there, only way is someone jumped over it.
There is an access point here, but again, it's gated, and the only way to get out of this specific location here would be to open the gate.
And my concern is just the building ends there. If a car coming and you couldn't see them, it might be unsafe there, but the gate is further down, you can
Right.
see a car coming or possession. So, okay, that's all I have.
Any other comments? Commissioner Rappaport.
Just very quickly before I defer to either somebody else or request to make the motion, to Commissioner Durante, your commentary about the loading zone, did you want the motion to be conditioned upon the relocation of the loading zone? Or was your intention just to make the petitioner
Yes.
aware of your concern so that he could address it before?
I want it included in the,
You do want it conditioned
Yes.
upon the relocation of the
yes,
loading zone?
because if it's not, I see a potential problem, just like I seen before.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to know.
Any other questions? Motion is in order.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion,
Very
please.
good. Commissioner Stackhouse.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing and waive the normal rules. Case number 703A, proposed site for plan approval and special land use approval for the proposed addition of the drive-through at the existing Captain Jay's Fish and Chicken Restaurant, 501 South Wayne, east side of the South Wayne Road, between Cherry Hill and Avondale, Captain Jay's, and number 131. Also, I would recommend, based on the affirmation of the facts and analysis, the administration and planning department recommend that this petition be forwarded with recommendation for approval, and also with it would be a criteria, would it?
Yes, it'd be part of the motion.
With the relocation of the loading zone.
Agree, no problem.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Stackhouse, support by Commissioner Rappaport. Roll call, please.
Okay, roll call vote to approve case number 703A with the condition the loading zone be relocated. Durante,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Rappaport,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
Sharp,
Yes.
Stachow,
Yes.
Hornbuckle.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much, we appreciate it.
Hopefully, that bolsters your business some more. We're happy you're here. Thank you. All right, we'll move into our next case, which is also a public hearing, and that is case 996A, proposed special land use approval for an educational institute for preschool through 8th grade at 1421 South Vinoy Road. Commissioner, Mr. Ayu.
Thank you, Chairman. The site here contains an existing church building formerly occupied by Westland Methodist Church. The church continues to own the property, but recently vacated and moved to a site on Warren Road. The petitioner is under a purchase agreement and is requesting to occupy the former church with a private K-8 school. The petitioner operates a school, I think in this same exact setup in the Canton area. In year one, the proposed school is expected to enroll about 70 students with 15 staff members, and eventually after potential, not expansion of the building, but expansion of the enrollment, a maximum is expected of 100 students with 20 staff members. Educational facilities of this type are permitted in the R5 zoning district, which this property is zoned, subject to special land use approval by the Planning Commission and City Council. The proposed use is consistent with the master plan's future land use designation. It's not uncommon to see schools and churches, for that matter, located in residential neighborhoods. All of the adjacent zoning districts and land uses are R5 single-family residential developed with single-family dwellings. So this property is approximately 3.5 acres. There are no modifications being proposed to the existing site that will impact access points. The site will continue to utilize the two curb cuts, one at Parkwood and one at South Vinoy here where my red cursor is. The one at Vinoy operates in a one-way traffic pattern there and includes that landscaped island to control that one-way traffic pattern. The site plan provides 183 parking spaces, which complies with the required 179 spaces. All of the students will be dropped off. There will be no bus service. None of these students are old enough to drive either. There appears to be sufficient room within the parking lot to control traffic during pickup and drop-off times. I have a traffic circulation map that I'll put up on the screen in a bit. The petitioner has indicated that a traffic control plan will be implemented utilizing both driveways to create a one-way traffic pattern during pickup and drop-offs. Perhaps the team can discuss that if it's a concern tonight. The existing building is constructed primarily using, I believe, brick materials, features some stone along one of the front facades. And there will be no modifications to that. There's an existing fenced-in playground to the rear over here that will remain. A dumpster enclosure is required and will be constructed. There is not one that exists at the site today. That's one condition of approval that we are recommending. The site contains existing landscaping. Additional landscaping is required and needed to comply with the landscaping requirements. So there is a need for an additional buffer strip of 20 feet along this asphalt portion of Parkwood. Where my cursor is, that's another recommendation or condition of approval. And in this entire area over here along Parkwood, additional trees and shrubs are required as well. The hours of operation are Monday through Friday during the school year from 8 a.m. through 3:30 p.m. There is potential for a summer school that will operate Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And those summer months are potentially June through August. So before I tell you the recommendation, just wanted to go through these slides. This is the site. You're probably familiar with it. This is a close-up of the drives. This is the site plan here, essentially showing this layout as well. There's a floor plan that you have in your set. They are utilizing the basement as well. These are the elevations, and here are some pictures of what the site looks like. This is from Parkwood over here at the intersection of Parkwood and Vinoy. This is facing west on Parkwood. See the playground there and the curb cut over here. And this is where that buffer strip is needed. Earlier, before you came up on the podium, the architect presented this traffic circulation with an updated set of plans that also shows the buffer strip over here. So they are complying, and their intention was to comply with this, but there was not enough time to get this in, so that's why it's a condition. But it is here and will make its way to the city council. And this is the traffic circulation plan, as you can see, for drop off and pickup. Obviously the development team is here tonight, and I'd be happy to answer the questions you have. Thank you. Well, I should add that the administration is recommending approval based off those two conditions, the dumpster enclosure and the landscaping being added. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Ayub. Is the petitioner here? Yes, would you come forward and introduce yourselves?
Good evening, Commission. My name is Wafa Yusuf, and this is my co-director, Nadia Shahid. We are both the founders and current directors of Shajara Tayyiba School. We have this project in front of you. Our architect, Mr. Dennis Cristel, is sitting right behind us over here, and he will update you on all the details. I'd just like to give you a little bit of an overview of who we are and what we're trying to do. Shajara Tayyiba is a preschool through 8th grade school currently located in Canton, Michigan, and we have about 75 students. That's including our preschool as well, with around 15 members of staff. We have outgrown our current facility, and we're looking to find a new home. Some of our families are here today, some of our staff members who live in Westland, and we're excited to move here. We look forward to working with you all. We've had a couple of meetings with Mr. Ayub, as well as Mr. Riley and the mayor as well. We are a 501c3. We've been operating for about 12 years, and we look forward to answering any questions that you may have. And I'll pass it over to our architect, who can give you more details, unless you'd like to.
Okay, anything you wish to add to what Mr. Ayub said, as far as the recommendation and the dumpster and the compliance, as far as the landscaping and that?
No, we're fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a public hearing, so you can be comfortable and sit back down. I'll open it up, and if nobody speaks, or if they speak, I'll bring you back up.
Sure, sounds
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Anyone on my right wish to speak on this? Anyone? Anyone on my left wish? Yes. Sir, did you wish to speak? No. Oh. Ladies, you may come back up. It's short. I'm going to give you your exercise. All right, we will open it up to the commission. Yes.
You indicated that you have a facility that you've outgrown in Canton. Can you tell me exactly where that is? Just curious.
It's 7437 Sheldon Road. It's on the intersection of Sheldon and Warren.
Okay.
And that's about a 1 acre property with about 5,000 square feet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Would you like for Mr. Cristel here to talk you through some of our plans?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Good evening. My name's Dennis Cristel, Guido Architects, 23419 Ford Road in Dearborn.
Speak into the microphone.
Yeah, if you turn it up a little higher there.
Sorry.
You're a little bit taller. Thank you.
My name's Dennis Cristel, and I'm with Guido Architects, 23419 Ford Road in Dearborn. And I wanted to address the revised site plan that Ms. Dio presented on the screens a few minutes ago. As my clients have indicated, we're thoroughly excited about this location, and we are willing to provide the suggested or required enclosed trash receptacle, and it is shown on that revised site plan. We are also going to provide or willing to provide the required landscape berm along Parkwood and the landscape berms along Vinoy. They're also indicated or illustrated on the revised site plan that was presented on the slide. That plan also shows the traffic circulation. Was just in case there were any concerns about the traffic circulation, you have to excuse me, I had a bad cold I'm getting over. We are looking at, as Mr. Ayo mentioned, potentially 100 students at one time. And my client would indicate that through experience, they should see no more than 80 cars for drop-off and pickup. As I mentioned before, there will be no bus delivery of the students to the school. The pickup times or drop-off times, morning times, are from 7:45 to 8 a.m. and then the pickup times were from 3:30 to 3:45 p.m. So what I've shown on the revised site plan shows stacking of 45 cars, and it is felt that it's an efficient layout, and we're looking at entering and exiting all the cars through the existing boulevard off of Vinoy. And as you can see, if we were looking in at that plan, traffic loops around quite easily around that parking lot. We could provide more than 45 cars if necessary, but the feeling is, of course, kids are getting dropped off at the front door. The traffic is always flowing and moving. So in the 15 to 20 minutes they have for the drop-off period in the morning and pick up in the afternoon, it seems very likely that this is more than adequate, that type of space, or that type of circulation route is provided. And we didn't see any requirements for traffic to enter or exit off of Parkwood, off of the drive onto Parkwood. In fact, the school will have staff in the morning that will direct the traffic to follow the route we're showing, so to keep it moving properly and efficiently, and to help minimize that traffic or eliminate the traffic onto Parkwood. They do have, with this new parking layout, because of the required berm along Parkwood, we're going to have to relocate all the striping on the parking lot. Right, currently, the parking spaces are larger than what the ordinance requires, and the aisleways are larger. So if I was to design it to meet ordinance, we can actually get 222 cars on site. And that's more than adequate to accommodate any of the uses in the auditorium or gymnasium that might go on. They do have some special events after school hours, and I don't see that through any of the calculations I've done, and I've talked to the planner about those types of occupancies and the number of people that could be attending those events or special uses. We were looking at an auditorium area. There may be up to 200 people in there, and at the same time could be up to 100 people in the gymnasium. Well, your ordinance provides or requires a minimum of 1 parking space per 3 people, so with a total of 300 people, potentially at the greatest, at the maximum, we'd have a requirement by ordinance of 100 cars. Well, we've provided for more than double that with this parking layout. So we don't see that even the parking under a special event would be an issue. If you have any other questions, happy to answer
We will
them.
open it up to commission and we'll see. Commissioners? Commissioner Rappaport.
Just for clarification, your analysis was very thorough, but I'm going to practice a little bit of active listening. So one of the concerns that I personally have, the administration is aware that during pickup and drop-off times, that sometimes traffic can get backed up and it can impact local communities in the area. It does appear like you guys have a plan to keep the pickup either entirely or primarily on site. I guess what I'm asking you is, do you believe that all of the pickup will be on site and none of it spill over into the surrounding community for?
I do, and I obviously, if you should find, or the city should find, or the neighborhood should find some issues with the circulation pattern provided, and that will be, the students or the parents will be directed according to this plan. There's plenty of room on site to reroute or weave through that parking lot and accommodate all of the cars. That's a tremendous amount of stacking space available on a site, 45 cars. And we have 15 to 20 minutes to disperse them. So it makes a lot of sense that this can be handled quite easily.
Excellent, thank you for the answer. One last thing, and I guess this is to the school administrators, and certainly no is an acceptable answer here. I was just wondering if you could share with us your admission policies.
And for that, I'd like
Not see
to
them, I just want to know
ask a
what sort
question.
of students you like to admit, and if there's cultural, religious aspects to your school as opposed to other schools. I just kind of want to know the character.
We are an Islamic school, so we teach Islamic studies. And it is open to, we do not discriminate in who we hire and who the student body can be. And of course, the families are welcome to, give you their experience. There is an online application on our website. Anyone can apply. There is tuition fees required. There's an application fee that they pay. There is a scholarship available for students as well, if there are families who are unable to afford. And it's pretty black and white. Anyone can apply. Our curriculum is on our website as well. We teach all the basic core curriculum which the Michigan Department of Education requires from us, which is math, English, science, and social studies from K through 8. And besides that, we teach our own religious education, which is the Islamic studies.
Do you have a nice art program?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a nice art program?
Art, yes. Art and PE are included, yes. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
One of the children's favorite.
Nope.
Any other questions? Well,
Yes.
we're up here.
Any other comments? Commissioner
I
Stackhouse?
have, through the chair to the petitioner here. Yes, now with the volume of cars that are possibly going to have, and speaking directly about, have you considered any additional signage in regards to your parking area? Because it does become quite cold and the snow and so forth. So if you're expecting to have that volume of cars, you may want to consider additional signage as far as directions are concerned for that area. And that's would be my suggestion and recommendation.
Absolutely. I think that sounds like a great idea. In our current facility, we also do have the one-way signs put up, and we also have staff members whose duty it is to actually stand outside during arrival and dismissal. So we can do both of those things still.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hornbuckle.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck on the parking as well. Have a traffic study been performed on this street? Can Benoit actually handle right-hand turns and left-hand turns? Because he mentioned 45. If you do the math right, I'm got like 30 cars hanging out somewhere The pickup is at 245, so that means cars going to be waiting. I just want to make sure that it can handle cars sitting until kids get released.
So you had said parking. Parking is more than,
Well, I'm sorry, not parking, the pickup.
Okay.
Pickup. And what I'm referring to is cars that could not make it onto the site. So we're waiting in line for the kids to be let out. So I'm on Vinoy, either making a left-hand turn to get in there or a right-hand turn. How are we gonna handle that traffic just sitting there before the kids get released? I still have like 30 cars to account for.
yeah, so I would say a couple things. Number one, a traffic study is not required. One has not been performed here. Another thing is this proposed school sits on Vinoy Road. Others are kind of located deep within single-family subdivisions. So this actually has some sort of advantage, I guess you would say, for traffic purposes. And also to add that we believe it's a much smaller school than the typical public school that's located within the neighborhoods that present the problems that Commissioner Rappaport was discussing. I can't predict whether there's going to be backup on Vinoy or not. If there is, I would expect the turnover to be quite rapid with only 75 or 100 students there, and to be quite quick. It's not going to be a delay that's significant. I mean, Vinoy is a major thoroughfare, county-owned road that can handle quite a bit of traffic. So yes, you could certainly turn left if there is one-way circulation as proposed, because there won't be as many cars traveling southbound. And then obviously the right-hand turn would be the easiest. So there's probably no issues there. I'll let you add anything that you might have as well.
I would just offer, as stated before, with the drop-off and pickup, and we don't have stagnant traffic. We will have it circulating. I mean, kids going to get out and get in, and cars are going to move forward. I don't think we're going to have 35 cars backing up into Illinois. Certainly, also, as I mentioned, if it becomes an issue and the city is alerted to it, I'm sure that we can accommodate those extra cars through signage and through the staff directing traffic on site to keep them all on site. And again, that's an expected amount at their maximum point. It certainly could be less. It's going to be more.
A question for you. What doorway would be utilized for drop-off and pickup?
There's an existing canopy and drop-off sort of in the crotch of the building. There's two wings to the building.
Is it on the east side of the?
It's on the south side,
It's on the south side.
the canopy, and
That would be the main.
it's not very far from Vinoy Road in regards to Commissioner Hornbuckle's question is.
Well, could we look at the circulation plan? Because the way the traffic is routed, you've got the bulk of those 45 cars are before the pickup drop-off canopy, right where the cursor, if you move the cursor up there, mode to the.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
pickup
there's,
drop-off.
right.
This
And
is where the cars are entering.
Right.
This is where they will likely start to stack. If needed, you had mentioned earlier that you could accommodate a larger stacking area, which would push this likely up here. That would add about a dozen cars, I would assume.
Well, they could even they could even have the cars double park we could have two cars in each lane, side by side as well. So we could,
go like this.
we could weave through, we could.
So your drop off and pickup will be on your way exiting the parking lot.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Not on the entrance, but on the exit.
Correct.
Okay. That'll give you a lot more spaces. Okay, that answers my question. Any other questions from the commission? Yes.
I'm ready to go with a motion.
There's one more question down here.
Pardon?
No, I had said, I was going to say, I was ready for a motion to go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Regarding case number 996A, proposed special land use approval at 1421 South Vinoy, in the east side of South Vinoy Road, between Avondale and Palmer. I'd like to close the public hearing, waive the normal rules, and propose to send case number 996A to the City Council with a recommendation for approval, as it meets or exceeds the stated statutory requirements, and conditioned upon the following two conditions: that a dumpster enclosure be constructed on a location agreed upon by the city, and two, that it's in compliance with landscaping requirements outlined in sections 110-1132 and 110-1133.
Are we also going
Support.
to get
Support.
mandatory for the signage as well?
The
Did you
signage?
want that to be part of the,
Yes.
and also subject to an analysis and potential implementation of additional signage as the department shall direct?
Motion by Commissioner Rappaport and supported by Commissioner Hornbuckle. Roll call, please.
Roll call vote to recommend approval of case number 996A with conditions proposed on the record. Durante?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Folks?
Yes.
Rappaport?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
Sharp?
Yes.
Stachow?
Yes.
And Hornbuckle?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Congratulations, folks. Good luck. You go before City Council, and we welcome you, and we look forward to you being part of our city.
Thanks for coming to Westland.
Thank you.
You're welcome to visit us at our current facility. You'll be surprised to see the arrival and dismissal.
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Forward to it, thank you.
Thank you. Our next case is the proposed ordinance amendment to Chapter 110 entitled zoning, modifying the list of Section 110-9.7.1. Mr. Ayub.
Thank you, Chairman. The proposed zoning ordinance amendment removes, well, it doesn't remove, but it breaks down basically the nature of used and new car sales facilities. So right now in the CB4 district, it allows, it says and allows automobile and light truck sales establishments. So what we want to do with this ordinance amendment is differentiate between new and used. So simply just putting those two words in front of that category. In the CB4, what we're proposing to do is leave automobile repair garages, which had already existed in that language under letter B, and separate it out from the automobile and light truck sales. And in letter G on page 2, as a special land use, we are proposing new automobile and light truck sales. Does your packet say used? New and used? Or does it just say new? On letter G, it says new and used? Yeah? Okay, that should only say new. I'm sorry. That's my fault. Yeah, so it should just say new automobile and light truck sale establishments.
Yeah, the paper does say new.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, yep, new automobile and new light truck sales establishments. I just wanted to make sure we had that right. So that's what we're proposing as a special land use. And then the used car sales will continue to be permitted in the industrial subdivisions. So we do no longer allowing used car sales in the CB4 district. And this is because of various blight and nuisance related issues that we've had to deal with, aesthetic issues as well, for used car dealerships being located in the CB4 district, which are along our major thoroughfares. So we want to further regulate them, remove them from our major thoroughfares, and if someone wants to open one up, place them in the industrial districts. This is not to say that we can go ahead and remove all of the existing ones in the CB4 district, but over time, as they go away, no new ones will be reintroduced. That's all. Sorry about the hiccup there in the beginning, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Right, so existing will have the ability to stay,
Right.
but if they do leave, then a new one cannot come in.
Correct. That's correct.
Okay.
No new used car dealerships in the CB4 district, essentially is what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay, everybody understanding that?
Yes.
A motion's in order.
Pro forma likely, but isn't this a public hearing?
It is a public hearing. Anybody on my right? Anybody on my left? We'll open it up to the commission.
Aren't you going to say
Very
something?
good.
Very much for.
Yes, I did. I did acknowledge her.
Because we had to reprint it.
Yeah, it's open to the commission. Motion is in order.
Actually, I did want to ask something of the administration. Mo, how does this affect, or how is this affected by our efforts on the ZOU SC?
So as many or all of you may know, we're completely rewriting the zoning ordinance, and we are hoping that the new zoning ordinance further regulates used auto dealerships. But I think after this amendment, the new update is going to be similar to this. We are taking a proactive measure because we have received some applications, well, not received applications yet, but received some informal inquiries about used car sales locations.
I just can't remember if we're still going to have a CB4.
Well, yes, you're right. The CB4 district maybe, hopefully, will be eliminated. And then the used car dealership will go somewhere else, but it will continue to be either an industrial or a special land use with some additional site development standards.
So the changes that we make today, if we do move forward and approve them through our process, they'll be incorporated into whatever we do at the Zeus.
Correct.
Motion? Yes.
Go get it, Ruby.
Okay.
Okay.
I move to close out proposed ordinance amendment to Chapter 110.
You got to close public hearing.
I said close out. I said close out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's kind of muffled.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I move to close out proposed ordinance amendment to Chapter 110 entitled Zoning Modifying to Use List in Section 110-9.7.1 entitled Permitted Principal Uses in Section 110-9.7.2 entitled Special Land Uses to reflect changes in automobile and light truck sales, and send to City Council for recommendation of approval.
Support.
With
Motion.
the addition of the waiver of the normal rules,
Okay. Yeah. A motion by Commissioner Richards, supported by Commissioner Draney.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Roll call vote to approve the proposed ordinance amendment for the regulating automobile and light truck sales. Durante?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Rappaport?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
Sharp?
Yes.
Stachow?
Yes.
And Hornbuckle.
yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you, everyone. Had some good questions for the people tonight. I thought that was great. Some we didn't discuss in the back, but to have good questions from here, so it's very appropriate, and it was good. A motion is in order to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn?
Very quickly,
Yes, sir.
From the September 7th meeting,
Yes.
I'm wondering, we've been holding on to a lot of us have been holding on to the paperwork for case number 1531N, the proposed land division that was postponed. Should we keep holding this, or will new paperwork be produced?
If it comes back up, it will contain new materials.
So we can get,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I cannot actually keep this separate from my recycling.
Use it as a fire starter for the December.
Thank you for unburdening me.
Thank you,
My
everyone.
apologies.